here, ready to do my comic review for January 21st, 2026. Unfortunately, my guest star Krysta has no power thanks to the monster storm that has hit most, three-quarters of the country. She lost power about an hour ago and hasn't gotten it back yet. If she gets it back, I'm sure she will pop in. We were going to do our little discussion about Tini Howard's and Babs Tarr at the end. So I'm still hopeful that she'll get her power situation. And knock on wood, we keep our power here at the house. And we're just going to jump right on in to my comic polls for this week. I had a few, and I had three. What Uncle Gary calls showcase new purchases that of older stuff that I'm collecting. So let's see. We're gonna, as always, start with DC Comics. First off was Catwoman number 83, Court of Owls. This was a really good issue. I'm really loving Torun. I'm going to butcher her name, Gronbeck, maybe not. Torun Gronbeck's writing. This story has been very captivating, pretty much right out of the gate. The art by Bayruth is, they've used a few different artists, and the art has been kind of up and down. I love the art that Sarah Fumanji does on all of the A covers. So I've been really really happy with this current run, and I'm keeping track because there's been 5 different series of Catwoman runs, if you count the one in 1989 by Mindy Newell as that 4-issue run is the first, which I do. And then the first real comic run came in 1990, 192 with Jim Ballant and Chuck Dixon doing what is known as the second series. That ran 94 issues. Then the third series is Ed Brubaker, and then Will Pfeiffer took over as writing after issue number 37. And that run went 82 issues. And so this one has surpassed it. And then the 4th series is the new 52 run, which only went 52 issues. Excuse me, I've got a tickle in my nose. And now this current 5th series is now at 83. So I'm really hoping that it surpasses the Jim Ballant, the early 90s run. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. I'm really hoping that it gets to surpass that second run of Catwoman and go longer than 94 issues. I'd really love to see Catwoman get 100 issues at least. I think that it's popular enough that they should be able to do that. And of course, I got variants because I'm addicted and I love Catwoman art, and I'm Catwoman fangirl. This is the Azra, which Uncle Gary showed off because she now has a boob window. But it's an amazing cover. It's just so Catwoman, from the way that she's jumping off the roof, the jewels in her hand, the broken glass, the bullets coming through the glass. It's just it's an ultimate Catwoman cover. And then I also got the Corn Howl variant because I love Corn's work, and this is just another ultimate Catwoman getting ready to steal something coming down with using her whip. It's just gorgeous. I love the whole red uh, sunset in coming through the window. Yeah, it's just had to have both. And of course, I've been collecting, um, as you know from having already seen the uh, poison ivy one. I'm also doing the sweater weather variants. This one is by Tula Lotte, and I really thought this was cute. Um, and it's a different artist per each cover. I'm going to be interested to see who does Harley's cover. I'm getting that one as well when it comes out. I think it comes out next week. So I'm looking forward to that one to add to the collection. And then Wonder Woman. And so it was not a huge week for me. Um, I feel like stuff hasn't come out, but then I always remember that for me, DC has a big release at the end of the month. So next up is Wonder Woman 29, and we have a new writer. Stephanie Williams is taking over from Tom King. She's going home with baby Elizabeth, and I love that Trinity is still a part of the story. I was kind of surprised that Tom King is either taking a break or gave it off to Stephanie, but the story was very good. It was very grounded in home and her sister and sisterhood and who the Amazons are as women, and I really enjoyed it. I also got the sweater weather for Wonder Woman, and this is by Elizabeth Torque. Did the line art, and Sabine Rich did the colors, and she does a lot of Sabine does a lot of work with Frank Cho, um, and I just love the seals, all giving her kisses and everything, and she's got the hood up, and yeah, it's a great cover. And then I also, of course, got the David uh, Nakayama variant. It's just stunning. I love the way that the lasso is lit up, and she's of course beautiful, and but she looks totally badass here. So those are my Wonder Woman uh, issues and variants, and then. I don't know who put it in my box, but apparently this came out, or it came in, and they put it in my box. Wonder Woman Historia, book 3. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm completely anal. And I, of course, took one look at this cover and was like, oh, yeah, I want to read that. I didn't even know about it, right? Um, Shows I wasn't reading all the way through my catalogs. But I'm like, book 3. So I frantically have gone searching for books 1 and 2, which Comic Logic didn't and have, unfortunately. But I was lucky enough to find both. I got one from a new comic seller that I just kind of found going on Google. I pay, they were offering it for cover price, which is $7.99. Yeah, $7.99. Um, but it was the Beverly Clooney uh, variant, which is stunning for book 2. And I was like, oh, I want that, And then they contacted me and were like, our inventory didn't get updated and we don't have that anymore. So I got the free shipping, which is great because the shipping was, almost the price of the comic. And I'm getting the free shipping now, so that's nice. But it's the regular A cover, which isn't bad, and I'll get to read it, which is the important thing. But I was kind of disappointed not to get the Beverly Cloonan. And then issue 1, I just found on Amazon used, and I will be showing that later because I that came out kind of curious. So, but we'll talk about that later. So, I will be reading Wonder Woman Historia as soon as that issue 2 shows up, and and whoever in Comic Logic set this up in my box, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I'm always looking for new things to read, always. Next up, that was it for DC. Next up is my one Marvel this week. Again, this was just kind of put in my box, I think, because Krista and Rob both know that I have read other Rogue stuff, and I do kind of like Rogue. So her new title, after the Age of Revelations, started this week, Shadow of Tomorrow, and it's really good. I'm watching X-Men 97 on Disney right now because I had never seen it before. I was doing other things in 1997 and not watching cartoons. And it reminds me of a storyline that I just saw in season 2. So I'm going to be curious if they're kind of revisiting that. But yeah, because this ties back to her days in the mutant evil brotherhood, and yeah, so I'm glad that they put this in my box, and I will definitely be getting the 4 or 5 issues, whichever one it is, in my runs now. But that was it for Marvel. Again, I only get like 3 titles for Marvel. I've just never been as big of a Marvel girl as I have been a DC. I've always been DC. My dad was DC, uh, so we kind of just grew. I grew up in a DC house. My dad didn't really, even growing up, he didn't read a lot of Marvel because he grew up in the 40s. So action comics and fun comics and detective comics and the Batmans were what he was reading, and what turned into DC Comics. So I think that that has something to do with it. I also think that because he bought me a lot of Wonder Woman back then too. I think that he, saw Wonder Woman. I grew up in the 70s, so first Kathy Crosby on TV, and then of course Joanne Cameron doing the Mighty Isis, and then Linda Carter as Wonder Woman, Charlie's Angel, the 3 gals on Charlie's Angels. Strong women really were taking the airwaves in in the mid 70s and on. And I think so when I was in elementary school during that time, my dad was really pushing me towards reading like Wonder Woman and away from Batman more, because those were the comics that he would get me. Anyway, we're going to move on to our independence now. Still no sign of Krista, but we will reschedule with her because she and I are going to have a great conversation about the comic writer, Tini Howard, and comic artist Babs Tarr. We're gonna do that come hell or high water. Excuse me. Going out into the independence, and first off was my guilty pleasure from my childhood that I still get a couple of times a year, the Archie Valentine's Spectacular. And it did not disappoint. It had uh, a kind of a thread of the 4 stories throughout. Lots of rivalry between Betty and Veronica, lots of Archie being clueless. It's my guilty pleasure. Um, Even Sabrina was in this, which made me chuckle because I got my daughter into Sabrina comics when she was little, and I don't know if she still reads them. It would be a good question, Larissa, if you're watching. Do you still read them? I'd be interested to know. But it was really a cute issue, and I usually get the annual spectaculars, or occasionally there'll be a facsimile of an older issue that'll make me chuckle, and I'll get that. But yeah, it's my kind of guilty pleasure. Archie. Next up was Ignition Press's The Beauty #3. Um this is such a gorgeous cover. Who did this cover? Jeremy Hahn, the writer. He's really a talented. I did not read the first run of The Beauty. I think I said that in my December comic review when I talked about number two. I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait to watch the series on Disney, and so I'm really 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 looking forward to uh, seeing where this story goes. What's happening so far is really interesting. Um, I don't know how long the run will be, but I'm really looking forward to uh, where it's going. Next up was Image Comics, Darkness number two. Uh, great artwork. Very similar to Sylveste's style, but it was actually done by a gentleman by the name of, oh, here we go, Raymond Gay and Gibran Ferdinand. I probably butchered that name, so my apologies to the art writer and the artist. Uh, so I, uh, I'm really enjoying this reboot of Darkness. I really liked um, the first run. This has been really good. I'm going to be excited to see the differences of the new series. But the art has just been phenomenal, close enough that you know it. You definitely know it's darkness, and definitely know those demons anywhere, but with just slight upgrades that really enhance the character. Um, and of course, I've always been a fan of Jackie, so Escondido. So there we go. Darkness number two. Next up is Titan Comics, Dark Souls, Mother of Mourning. And I really, really, really loved issue number one. Not so much with issue number two. This one, it kind of lost me a little bit with the two different groups. I'm really hoping that it comes back together and picks up again with more in issue three. It just felt kind of disjointed, and you find out why it felt disjointed because you are watching two different paths of these people throughout the panels. um so you know uh I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I'm not disappointed because Willow King was amazing. I found out at the back of this that there's a whole Dark Souls, like 4 volumes of other comics that came before Willow King and Mother of Mourning. So I might have to check that out eventually. Definitely have other collecting in front of that. But I'm not, I'm not regretting adding it to my pull list. Uh, but I am hoping that issue three gets a little better. Next up is Images Witchblade number 18. Love this cover with the snake, and this was they could have named it Tales of the Witchblade. She's met this girl, um, and Anna in the previous episode, and Anna is kind of like a keeper of the knowledge of the Witchblade, and gives her this like history and how old it is, that it goes back to the garden and Adam and Eve. um it was good. It reminded me of a tale. It reminded me very much of Tales of the Witchblade, that little 8 run thing that Image did back in the 90s that kind of told these same stories of the different women throughout history that um, held the Witchblade, and this was very reminiscent of that. I'm hoping maybe we get another reboot of that too. I do love the way Marguerite Bennett is writing this. I'm not all that fond of Cafaro's interior art. I love his covers, but his interior art is I kind of miss. I really kind of miss the old uh, art from the original. And of course, we can't have that anyway because that was Michael Turner, and uh, rest in peace, Michael Turner. It can't be replicated. But I love Cafaro's covers, but the interiors are just a little too rough for me. I'm gonna keep getting it because the story has me riveted. But I would definitely not rank the art very high. Otherwise, the story has been really, really, really good. And Ian Nottingham is coming back next issue, so and there was little hints of that at the end of this. So, and I'm a big fan of Sarah and Ian, so um, yeah, definitely something worth adding to your list if you're a Witchblade fan. And that was it for my normal subscriptions. And so now we're going to move into the special stuff that I go out on, go to look at auctions and stuff like that. Excuse me while I take a drink for just a second. Um, there are 3 this week. All of them pretty decent deals. First off, I on a fluke found out that my Catwoman Guardian of Gotham that came out in the 90s, Doug Mowick and Jim Ballant. Doug Mowick wrote it. Jim Ballant did the pencils, and Demolder did the inks, and it came out in like 99, and I thought it was a one shot, and I found out on a fluke when I was watching a gal that I follow on YouTube analyze that. um, she was doing a little thing on Catwoman and her outfits, and mentioned the Guardian of Gotham, and showed volume book 2. And I was like, there's a book 2? And I was like, how? I didn't know that. So I went hunting immediately, of course, because my family can tell you I'm kind of obsessive about Catwoman, can get a little obsessive about my Catwoman comics. I'm trying really hard to uh, have as extensive as collection of. I have everything that she had that was her own series, and I'm on, and I have a couple of the like little, like I have Lonely City and When in Rome, and I have the single issues of those as well as the books. Um, and I have a few of the ones that she appeared in, from 1940 one in Batman number 1 throughout until 1990 or 1989, excuse me, when when Mindy Newell wrote that 4-issue series, and she has basically off and on or basically steadily had her own title since. Uh, so those are much harder to, I mean, some of them I'll probably never have. Like I have a facsimile of Batman number 1, but she was in Batman 3 and 15 and uh gosh, like 40, and so many of the earlier ones. And then in the Silver Age, she was in quite a few, and then in the Bronze Age she was in quite a few. And I have scattered ones. I have some that she's been in the 80s, and I have I have the ones that she was in. I have one of the ones she was in Lois Lane. She was in two in the 60s. I have a couple that she was in the 70s, All Stars, and like a Who's Who in the DC universe that she was in the 70s. Uh, so, I'm working on those, and there's some I'll probably never get. Anyway, long tangent. Sorry about that, folks. Um, I got was very easily for only $2 Catwoman Guardian of Gotham book 2 to complete my Catwoman Guardian of Gotham collection. Because ironically, I even have the action figure for Guardian of Gotham. So yeah, so I'm very, very happy that I was able to get that, and I was able to get that relatively inexpensively. Thank you, Hip Comic. And then last but not least, again, it was somebody offered me a deal for $1 for the original Gotham City Sirens #4. I just love this cover. Who did the cover? Does it say on it? Of course it doesn't say on it. Oh, it's a Gillian March. Yeah, Gillian March. Um, it's #4. It's from the original 26 issue run by Paul Dini. This is the only issue I have of it, but for a couple bucks, I figured why not. I like the cover, so why not get it to start? I do eventually want to get all 26 of those issues. I have two different paperback. I have the trade paperback, and then I have the short compact version, DC Finest, that they put out just last year, of the same story. But eventually, I'd like to collect all 26 of the issues because I have all the other Gotham City Sirens runs. I think there might have been one in 2009 that I don't have. Oh, no, that's this one. So, yeah, if I get all 26 issues of this, that will make uh, then I will have all of the Gotham City Siren uh, series that they've put out. And then we'll go into that further at the end of the show as I talk about a little bit about the Sirens to give you a little preview of what Krysta and I are going to talk about. So, last but not least, was a copy of the book #1 of Wonder Woman Historia, The Amazons. Now, this book, you can see, is in kind of rough shape. And it didn't say on it that it was used, which kind of irritates me, but Amazon, and it's readable. There's some bent pages, there's a loose page here. You can see it's got a loose page. I might have to give it to Kent and have him work his magic. But it also has this weird signature. You see that? Now, the artist's name is High Five. Who did the? Let's see here. Yeah, Phil Jimenez. Yeah. Jim, yeah, Jimenez. Which it could say that. I really don't know. I'd have to see his signature, and I don't know what his signature looks like. It's probably just somebody scribbled on the cover, and I wasn't planning on having this slabbed or anything, but I guess my complaint about all this, you can see there's another little ding on the binding. They charged the full cover price, $7.99 for it. And it's probably only worth about $5 because it's the condition that it's in. So, and it should have said that it was used. Because if this is how it came, and if this is the artist's signature, which I doubt, But if it by some miracle is, then obviously, regardless of the condition, it's worth a lot more than the $7.99 that they charged me for it. And it was Amazon, so shipping was free. Um, I am looking forward to reading this story. So, but this is the last one. Kelly Sue DeConnick, and Phil Jimenez, and yeah. So that's it. And that's it for the comics for me for the week. So I'm going to just briefly mention what Krista and I were going to talk about. I'm not going to go into a whole lot because I want to save that for when she can be on the show. But she and I are both huge Gotham City Sirens fans. And one of my favorite comic writers, Tini Howard, uh, was the person writing Catwoman up until issue 69, and she left. And I was really disappointed in that. She was also writing Harley Quinn at the same time, and she left that at the same time. And I didn't hear anything, about her for a while. And I was kind of really disappointed when she left both those titles because I really love her writing. Um, well, she's also, for right now, she's writing a 4-issue run called Marian Heretic for Boom Comics, and it's excellent. I have spoken about it in my comic reviews. It's really good. It has Magdalena vibes from the 90s. Really, really, really loving it. But one of the reasons that she stopped writing Harley and Catwoman was because DC asked her if she would be willing to partner with Babs Tarr and do a Gotham City Sirens story. And she, of course, wanted to jump at that chance, having written both 2 out of the 3. So they came up with a really cool concept, and it's coming out. I'm not sure if the first issue drops next week or if we're getting it in February. I'd have to check my dates on that. But probably February, given the love hurts themes. But anyway, Sirens, love hurts, and there's an addition to the trio. uh it's the story is about Diana Lance, Black Canary, right before her wedding to Ollie, Green Arrow. And there's a serial killer running through Gotham, and reminiscent of the holiday killer from Long Halloween, though this one is based on the seasons. And Black Canary needs the Siren's help to, and the Siren, the planned villain targets targets Catwoman and Poison Ivy and Harley. And but it's also the 4 of them being girls and having fun, and they're in a different, it's going back in time. So it's before Black Canary and Green Arrow got married. It's before the engagement of Bruce and Selena and the wedding that never was. And it's right after the breakup of Harley and Joker, but before Harley and Poison Ivy get together. So this is a dynamic of the girls that we don't normally get to see, the women, I should say. Um, and I'm really, really excited both to see what Teeny does with the story, um, and what Babs Tarr does with the art. And I don't know very much about Babs as an artist. That was what Krysta was going to focus on tonight, and she was going to introduce me to the art of Babs Tarr. So please stay tuned, because hopefully next week we will be able to hook up and get her on and have a really in-depth conversation about Tini as a writer and Babs as an artist, and what they've done before, and what they're doing now, and our excitement for this 4-issue series that's coming out, Sirens, Love Hurts. Just even the titles, you know it's going to be good. Um, so that's kind of it. That wraps up my show. I again, Krista, if you are watching from your phone, I'm sorry that your power uh, kept you from being here. I really hope you can get here, be a part of this next week. I'm hoping to have. At least a couple times a month, I'm hoping to have a guest on. I'm hoping I can convince a couple of the guys from Codex to maybe uh, come and chat with me. I'm hoping to get both my son to make an appearance when we're going to debate who we think the best Batman is and why, in media and in different story runs in the comics. And I'm hoping in early spring to have a show that's going to shift focus just a little bit to my daughter-in-law and her business, Dragon Witch Apothecary, where I because I've been contributing to that with little talismans, and she's asked me to expand into a couple of new areas, hair charms that we're going to talk about that once winter kind of gets further along. I'm hoping I can maybe talk Rob into making an appearance from Comic Logic maybe one of these days. So yeah, just if you like what you're hearing and you want to see more, you can follow me on YouTube, Lizzie D68, and I'm also on Instagram, same thing, Lizzie D68. I'm on Facebook, E DeMarco. I'm a little picky about who's on my Facebook. Because I've got a lot of family on there. So, but please give me a follow. Uh, Come hang out with me on Sunday nights, 7:30. Um, Learn about what I think of my comic pulls, what I thought of the stories. I didn't do any grading or rating really tonight. I really want to come up with a rating system that I use consistently, whether it's stars or grades, thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm still new with this whole podcast thing, so bear with me as I grow, and check me out next week. Hopefully, Crystal will have her power back and will be able to join me when we break down what we're hoping to see in Sirens, Love Hurts, written by Tini Howard and drawn by Babs Tarr. We will be learning about both writer and artist. So, yeah, check that out. Sorry that it didn't happen this week, but after all, as Scarlett O'Hara said, tomorrow is another day. So, see you guys next week. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to check out my friends at Codex Station. They're on YouTube and all the socials. You can find them, the Codex Station. Really easy to find. The guys there are amazing. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them. Definitely check them out. They're much bigger than I am, but that's okay, because I eventually will figure this whole podcast thing out and I'm having fun with it anyway. So you guys have a great rest of your Sunday night. If you're here on the East Coast, or if you're anywhere in the country and you are dealing with the snow and ice, it is actually still sleeting here. It hasn't been nonstop. We got snow, and then we've had basically just falling balls of ice all the rest of the day. So, anyway, be safe wherever you are. Stay warm, and I will see you next week. Lizzie D saying,